What's going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another episode of What's the Difference Week in Recap. This week we had James Collin Davis on. Just another great episode, man. I feel really honored to be able to talk to such great guests. This one was really cool because James is someone who I've watched on YouTube for quite a while now, and to be able to actually sit down and talk with him and ask him the questions that I wanted to know and then also learn about his career was really cool. So just a reminder, what's the difference? The goal of the podcast is to sit down and effectively fledge out and make a list of, okay, these are the difference makers of, if you want to maybe play professional golf, or if you'd like to play Division 1 golf, or if you wanted to get from being a 15 handicap down to a scratch, or whatever your goals in golf are. Ultimately, we're going to scale it, but right now we're trying to figure out, okay, if you are a mini tour player and you want to get to the big tour, what are the difference makers? Thus far, we've narrowed it down to a few things. You need to have somewhere in the area of a 305 yard carry. Scott Fawcett called it 180 ball speed. After speaking with some of my guests, we think it's a little bit less than that, but definitely important. Number 2 is excellent lag putting. Everybody agrees across the board. I think that one is already taken care of. Number 3 is you need to meditate. That was Scott Fawcett's. I think now it's turning into a little bit more of you need to have a comprehensive mental plan. We really got into the comprehensive mental plan and even like things like overcoming imposter syndrome with James in this video. A lot of the video was about the mental game, understanding, maybe areas where we can improve, things that he thought were very important, maybe things that he was doing well whenever he had earned his spot on the Canadian Tour, and then even stuff that he learned. So this ultimately was a awesome discussion. I really feel like I gained a lot from it in terms of, talking about strategy, in terms of talking about what he does to improve his putting. Some of the main takeaways for me were that details matter, right? So, doing the right things in your putting setup was one of the things we talked about. Doing the right things with meditation, or doing the right things to even do the mental work that you need to do away from the golf course was incredibly important. James and I also talked about the importance of scar tissue, which is something that Christian Heavens brought up as being vital. So that's often something that people don't really want to deal with or accept that it maybe is a reality. But I would say that having that scar tissue and going through those experiences, as long as you're learning from them, I think it's incredibly important, and that is going to inevitably propel you into the next stage. So James is a really good dude. I really appreciate him taking the time to sit down with me, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Ultimately, it kind of feels like we're on the same page whenever it comes to James and his theorem of, what's the difference. So right now, as the list sits, 300 yard carry, excellent lag putting, need to have a fully fledged mental program that's different for each and every individual, and timing was the very last thing, right? So timing is something that has come up quite a lot. I'd like to try and dive a little bit in the future more so into the elements of timing. We have Carl Morris coming on and we talk about it a little bit, but the elements of timing, Jeff Lavicchio also talked about, if you're doing the right things each and every day, you're going to be prepared to, have your best showing at the right time. So a lot of really interesting guests, and I hope you guys are enjoying this. If you have any questions or anything, please let me know in the comments. This is really turning into quite the cool project. So I hope you're enjoying it. I know I am, and we'll see you next Monday.